It was over in the first period. 3-0 Colorado. Okay, maybe that was a little excessive. But it was over in the second period. It was 5-0. 7-0 shutout in Colorado as the Avs, the favorites to win the Stanley Cup, take a 2-0 series lead, now 2 wins away from their third Stanley Cup trophy in franchise history. Last time they won was in 2001. And the first time they won the Cup, they swept that series. And they're 2 wins away from a sweep here, but the 2-time defending champs, I mean, they're not going to go out with like this, right? I mean, they went out. They were knocked out in Game 2. They were flat, took a lot of penalties. Andrei Vasilevskiy got no help. He just got peppered, and he gave up the most goals he's ever allowed in any game. Regular season, playoffs, 7 goals given up by Andrei Vasilevskiy, which kind of prompts the question, why was he still in the game in the third period? We're going to dive into that in a bit, but the Avs make quite a statement. 11 different players scored a point in Game 2. You had 2 players with multiple goals. Valery Nichushkin, who's going to be an unrestricted free agent in the offseason. Somebody's going to look for his services. And the youngster, the defenseman, Cale Makar, with a pair of goals in the third, a shorthanded, and a power play to cap off the night. What a night it was for the Colorado Avalanche. Jared Bednar's group up 2-0 in the series. Game 3 Monday as the series shifts to Amalie Arena in Tampa, where the defending champs, the 2-time defending champs, will look for home ice advantage. They're 7-1 at home this postseason, so hopefully they can get things going. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Welcome in former NHL winger Alan May, who played 8 seasons in the National Hockey League. It was an avalanche of goals, Alan, and I know you can appreciate that as a fellow father on Father's Day weekend here. A 7-0 shutout. What's your reaction to what you just saw?
Wow, it didn't even look like both teams belonged to be in the National Hockey League. And I have a hard time saying bad things about Tampa, but they were never involved in this game. It was about 10 minutes into the first period. They were down 2 goals. They only had 1 shot on net. And by the end of the game, I think it was 16 shots total the last time I checked, maybe a little bit more. But they had nothing from the inside. They were just, the odd shot they got through was from a distance. So they really didn't do anything to force the Avalanche, and the Avalanche just played so fast. They were on, it seemed like odd man rush after odd man rush, and they did an incredible job of attacking Vasilevskiy and doing a great job of the finish. Odd man rushes, looking for rebounds, that play off the pad, that was just absolutely perfection. That was a planned play, in my opinion. Burakovsky goes in. That's about as easy as it gets. So Colorado Avalanche came out. They were fired up. Their building was fired up, and they really put it to the Lightning tonight.
This is back-to-back games that Andrei Vasilevskiy has allowed 3 goals in the first period. And in this game, in total, he allowed 7. The most goals allowed by Vasilevskiy in any game of his career. He was back out there in the third period. What did you think of that decision by John Cooper?
I have a feeling that wasn't John Cooper. That was Vasilevskiy, because I was thinking the exact same thing. Why is he back in there? They're not getting back into this game. There's no way. And Vasilevskiy just wanted to stay in there and stand the fire the rest of the time, not put his backup into the net. I have a feeling that's what Cooper's going to say. Vasi didn't want to come out. And I love that, and the type of team that they have, that everyone owns where they're at and what they do and what they don't do. And there were a couple soft goals tonight. We don't see a lot of them out of him. But when you're getting pushed back the way that the Avalanche were pushing the Lightning back tonight, there were no answers. And it didn't matter whether you're defenseman, Victor Hedman, whether you're the goaltender, Andrei Vasilevskiy. It was just all Avalanche in every facet of the game this evening.
Yeah, I'm sure Brian Elliott was like, okay, you can put me between the pipes here. Let me get a crack at it and see if I can stop one. Aside from Vasilevskiy, Alan, who else disappointed you the most from the Lightning?
I just think everyone, there's, some of the top players. I don't know if Kucherov ended up with a shot on net. Palat didn't have a shot on net the last time I took a peek. And you look at that, that just means that the Avalanche did a great job of shutting down the top line of the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. And sometimes, you just have to tip your hat and say, wow, they gave it to us tonight. We've got to find a way to be better next game. But as the game goes on, and as a former player, as the game goes on, and even though it's a playoff game, you're looking for energy reserves. And it just seems like the crowd is so loud. That team is coming at you so fast. They're pushing you back. You can't get the puck out of your zone. And I just thought the Avalanche let the puck do a lot of work tonight. Their skates were there. The Avalanche, every player on the Avalanche did not let the puck do the work. They tried to skate at times that they should have moved it. Their passing was off. They weren't shooting when they had the opportunities. So nothing went right. Nothing went right for the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. And the Avalanche they dominated in every area. Every single area of the game, they owned it.
They are now an eye-popping 14-2 this postseason. What kind of statement did Colorado make in Game 2?
Well, you look at when they won the Western Conference. Was anyone smiling? Well, the Nate Dogg, he sure wasn't. And, what's great about tonight's win is that it was the other guys. I think the first 5 goals were scored by guys who don't have contracts for next season. Nikushkin, Burakovsky, Helm, Manson. I believe all 4 of those players are unrestricted free agents. So players are stepping up. They're doing what they're supposed to. The guys that came in trades, they're doing what they need to do. And Nikushkin's been just an incredible story, especially in this round. You look what he's been able to do. But players, it's not just McKinnon. In the past, I've seen this all throughout the National Hockey League. You expect one line to do it all, but you're getting a 4-line performance out of the Colorado Avalanche. It's not just Makar from the back end. You've got Manson scoring goals. So they're just pumped. They're doing everything at the best of their abilities, at the highest speed. You just look at their execution. It's got to be a dream for Jared Bednar right now that he does not want to wake up, because right now execution is excellent. And Tampa, they need, if this was the old-fashioned way where you went 2 games back-to-back, a day off, then back-to-back games, they'd probably be out of this series in 4. They've got some times to regroup, catch their breath, go back home, play in their own arena, and try to make a statement, especially in Game 3, because if they don't win Game 3, they're definitely not winning the series.
Really tough to sweep a Stanley Cup Final. We saw a streak of sweeps from 1995 to 1998. The Detroit Red Wings with back-to-back sweeps. Now the Avs in 96. Alan, how many games do you have this series going at this point?
Well, I'm going to be optimistic right now, and I'm going to say 5, just because we've seen Tampa throughout these playoffs, the first 3 rounds, when people had them down and out and they got shellacked in the first game of that Rangers series. The first game of the playoffs, they lost 5-0 to the Leafs, and everyone was saying how slow they were, how old they were, and they came back and won the next game 5-3 in Toronto. So I expect them to put up their best game, absolutely best game of the playoffs in Game 3. And if they can't do it there, it's not going to get done. I can't see them pulling off a miracle. Braden Point, not effective tonight. He's still battling whatever his injury is. But right now, the Avalanche have all the answers, and Tampa doesn't have any. So John Cooper and his coaching staff are really going to have to do a big-time job. No sleep until after the next game for just a little bit, but they've got to put a different game plan in there, and they're going to have to have a very good start Game 3 Monday. So
what you're telling me is that the Lightning are not going to win 4 games in a row like they did against the Rangers?
Well, I can't see it, no. And certainly the most important game, and I've said this with you before, the only game that matters, this isn't a 7-game series for Tampa. Right now, this is a 1-game series. All that matters is what happens Monday night. They've got to survive the first 10, but it is their arena, so maybe Colorado's got to survive the first 10. Because anytime you're on the road and you're playing a red-hot team and you're playing a team that's a wagon, an offensive wagon, a speed wagon, a power wagon, everything that Nate McKinnon and his guys bring, you've got to survive the first 10 in their barn. So Tampa's going to have to bring that type of effort. They're going to have to do everything right the first 10 minutes the next game to hang around in this series, and they've got to do the next 10 minutes. And the game is played in 10-minute segments, usually from a coaching perspective. And the Lightning are going to have to really focus on that first 10. They cannot give up the first goal. They've got to take confidence. They've got to build off of their fans, and they've got to really try to put an incredible statement, not eke out a win, but it's got to be a big statement victory on Monday night.
Last time a team was down 0-2 and came back to win the Cup was the Bruins in 2011. Perhaps we'll see some magic, or we'll just see some continued domination by the Colorado Avalanche. Alan, thanks, and happy Father's Day weekend to you, my friend.
Thank you, Akeem. Same to you.
Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final Monday when the series shifts to Tampa Bay. Lightning looking for some home ice advantage where they're 7-1 this postseason with a +13 goal differential at home.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.